Now let's look at the advantages and disadvantages from your landlord's point of view. If you can get into your landlord's head a little bit, that'll really help you a lot later on when you're negotiating with your landlord. These will be some of your talking points when you pitch the idea to your landlord. Here are the advantages to your landlord of selling to you, the renter. 1. More money. To your landlord, the biggest advantage of selling to a tenant is that they may not have to pay a real estate agent, or if they do, they can probably pay the real estate agent less than the normal fee because they already found a buyer, you. Not paying a real estate agent could save your landlord 5, 6, or whatever percent of the entire house's value. And for you, of course, that means your landlord might be more flexible on your price and terms. Most landlords hate the idea of having to pay 5, 6, or whatever percent of the home's value to real estate agents. It's in the landlord genetic code. And some landlords who are near break even would lose money if they had to pay 5, 6, or whatever percent in commission to real estate agents. But if they sell to you, they may not have to pay any real estate agent commissions. They'll probably have to give you a break on price. If they sell to anyone else on the planet, they'll have to pay the full traditional real estate agent commission, whatever that is in your area. 2, no repairs or prep costs. If your landlord sells the house the normal way, they'll have the hassle and expense of cleaning it up and fixing the place up and making repairs after the tenant leaves, painting, cleaning, carpet cleaning, and so on and so forth. If they sell to you, they don't have those hassles or those expenses. 3, no vacancy costs. You might not realize how killer vacancies are to landlords. Every month the house is vacant, landlords have all of their normal expenses and zero money coming in. A couple of vacant months can ruin a small landlord's year. If they sell to you, your landlord avoids any possibility of vacancy costs. Number 4, faster money. Selling to a renter can happen quicker than selling to almost anyone else. Your landlord will probably be able to sell the house and pocket the money months sooner than if they tried to sell the house the normal way. Don't be shy about mentioning this to your landlord. Ideally, your landlord will start to visualize spending that money and become excited about the idea of selling the place to you. And remember, landlords tend to be even more motivated by money than the average money-motivated home seller. 5, your landlord knows you. I mentioned earlier that knowing your landlord is an advantage to you, but your landlord also knows you, which is an advantage to your landlord. Your landlord knows if you pay rent on time. They know going in whether selling it to you is likely to go smoothly or whether to expect it to be a pain in the neck. Either way, they have an idea of who they're dealing with. With any other buyer coming in off the street, they won't have that advantage. Sometimes small landlords and longtime renters actually become friendly. If that's your case, it's even more likely your landlord will sell to you and be reasonable about it. 6, negotiation advantage. Your landlord may think they'll have the upper hand in negotiations because they've sold a lot of homes and you've never bought a home before. This is especially true if your landlord won't pay for your real estate agent. Your landlord, however, doesn't realize you're taking this course, and that helps you level the playing field. The only potential disadvantage I can see for your landlord is the possibility that the negotiations fail and you two end up hating each other. If you spent money on a home inspection and a real estate agent or attorney, but then the deal doesn't go through, you might get upset and blame your landlord. In the worst case scenario for your landlord, you become a tenant from hell. That possibility might scare off some landlords from even considering selling to a tenant, especially with larger landlords who've had tenants turn on them in the past. Okay, there are a lot of advantages to your landlord of selling to you, mainly more money and faster money. Combine those advantages with your advantages of buying from your landlord, and you can see why landlord to renter sales sometimes go unusually smoothly. You're both better off working cooperatively together. Feel free to mention the advantages to your landlord of selling to you over selling to anyone else. This would be especially true if your landlord is a small one-house landlord. Now let's look at some of the other people you'll be working with besides your landlord when you're buying the home.